Hello, this is Shah. Welcome. Today I'm going to talk about perspective and how important it is to shape our realities. And the perspective is the way you look at people, the way you look at um, surrounding, the way you feel. All of it is connected. It's connected by the way you filter life. And to explain what I'm talking about is because I want to explain how we really create our own realities. And we don't know, but that's what we're doing. And I want to talk about this one day that I was all alone in the mountains, in nature, beautiful nature. Everything on the up, the scenery was beautiful, and it was a calm, sunny day. But I was full of um, depression, anxiety, and I just didn't know what to do with myself, basically. Looking around, everything was wonderful, but inside of me, it was like a storm of negative thoughts and about my life, about my financial situation, about a lot of different things, about being without a partner. So I had all these things, feeling lonely all by myself in a wilderness and feeling left out. Um, and I was walking around this creek alongside this beautiful creek, but I wasn't paying attention to the creek. I was watching things, I was looking at things, but they didn't look as beautiful as they really were because inside of me wasn't beautiful. I wasn't thinking beautiful thoughts. I was thinking about all the negative things in my life. So, and as I was walking, I felt so restless. I felt like, where do I go? How do I just unzip this body and step out and feel good? Um, and I was just feeling sorry for myself and walking, pushing myself. I didn't even feel like walking. But something, told me to sit by this creek after, maybe an hour or two of going through those negative emotions and state of mind. So I just sat by this creek and started looking at the water and without planning. I wasn't planning to do anything. But as I sat and I started focusing on the reflection of sunlight in this creek with the water sparkling, and I took some couple of deep breaths and focusing on the water and listening to the sound of the water. Slowly, I began to feel a little more comfortable in my skin. As I was sitting there, I felt relaxed, not restless, because I was walking all over the place because I was at peace inside of me. So I sat down, and as I was watching this sparkles, um, it seemed like it took I don't know how many minutes, but it wasn't that long, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that I felt like I kind of tuned in to the water sound and the flow of water. I began to feel calm, some sense of calmness. I didn't, and then it started. Then I realized whatever I'm doing is working. So I started to close my eyes and kind of halfway open, looking at the sparkles and the light, and then slowly my thoughts started to drop off. Negative thoughts about my life, about my moments. And I started to feel calmer and calmer, and just I felt like I didn't need to move anymore because I was out of nervousness. With this calmness, I saw some leaves on the stream. I looked at the leaves and then I looked up. There was a tree, a beautiful tree. I didn't notice the tree when I was walking because I was so engulfed. I was so um, into myself, my negative thinking. But because of my calmness, I began to see the tree and started appreciating the beauty of the tree. And this tree is so still. I'm so restless. I want to be like the tree. I want to be like the tree. I want to be so content, so happy with with where I was. I didn't have to be another place, but because I was calm. So I started looking at the tree and I started thinking, oh my God, how many years has this tree been here? Because it was so big. And then I noticed the smaller trees around, and there was another tree next to it, but it was kind of smaller, but still big. And I began to kind of put things together. Oh, so this is like the father tree. This is a mother tree. And then I saw these smaller ones, like they were younger, but they were on their way up. But then I saw them as the children of these two beautiful trees. And I was getting deeper and deeper into this kind of thinking and realizing that these trees must communicate with each other. They've been next to each other for years. So there must be a way that they're communicating and then they're multiplying because the small trees were of the same kind. So they were, I began to see them as like a family of trees. And I was getting into this beautiful expansion of my perspective and started looking at something outside of myself and began to see this trees and their relationships to each other and the, what they were offering was beautiful shade. It was a rather warm day, so I was enjoying the shade of the trees and the smaller trees, and I realized that my thoughts have gone away. Now, for the first time in that during that day, I was in the present moment. I was enjoying just being. I didn't have to have anything. I didn't have to have more of anything. I was just in the moment, and it was wonderful. And the sense of calmness that I felt after I started making this connection, and then I was started looking at all these other trees and the stream, the role that stream played, feeding the trees with water and life. And I kind of saw this community of beautiful trees and this beautiful stream of water and looking at the sky, appreciating how the sun was there to provide light and warmth. Simple things that I couldn't see when I was so into myself. And I realized how my thinking can create my reality. Now I was in hell in my head before this awakening happened. And I was so unsatisfied with life, with everything, why things are not the way I wanted them to be. But being in this wonderful state of mind, like heavenly state of mind, where I felt like I don't need anything, and I could enjoy what I'm looking at, appreciating nature. And then I started looking at ants moving and started to appreciate what they're doing and how they are doing what they're programmed to do and taking going around scouting for food and taking it back to the colony. And so I was so entertained and in a beautiful way. Uh, I felt like I'm part of them. Now I felt a connection between me and the trees and the stream and the sky, and feeling so at peace and so comfortable with myself. And I got up and walked around with totally different human being. When I sat down, I was this miserable guy that didn't know what to do with himself. I didn't have any way out of this prison that I made for myself. But when I stood up, I was a different person. I was calm. I was appreciative. I felt good in my, my own skin and my existence. And then I started walking with a different attitude that I have more than I need to feel good. All those things that made me feel bad, they were just thoughts. They were thoughts that we all are slaves to. A lot of times when I talk or in my videos, I go back to controlling thoughts is the key to basically the difference between heaven and hell on earth is what thoughts you pay attention to. The good, productive, um, holy, and wonderful thoughts that you have a glimpse of at some times, but you don't have the strength to hold on to them because the power of the negativity is so much based on the society, of expectations and beliefs that we hold. You determine your reality. And at any given point, if you really think about it, you have a choice of feeling good and not feeling good. But because we're not aware of this freedom of choice, we kind of go with the way our thoughts are going. If your thoughts are telling you that you're a loser, nobody wants you, nobody cares about you, you don't matter, then you feel like that. Then the emotions come, and you feel it in your body, in your bones. But when you pay attention to positive thoughts, and they kind of come in a group. So if you pay attention to the first one and the second one, and the energy that you give those thoughts brings them to life, and they will attract thoughts that are of you know same kind of thoughts. So I know it sounds like a hard thing to do, but you on a daily basis make choices of whether you want to go left on the street or right, or get on the freeway or talk this way or that way at your sales presentation. So those are thought choices that you make to make your life work. But I'm talking about the kind of thoughts that are in between, which is most of the time when you're driving, when you're taking a shower, when you're by yourself, or when you're talking to people. Most of the time, you're not talking consciously. You're talking, and trying to make yourself look good, or I don't know. Some people want to put down other people so they feel bigger. So you follow those negative thoughts, or you can switch and start thinking positive and kind of control over your own reality of how you want to experience. You can enter a party with a negative attitude. Everybody is out to get you. Everybody is, they got more money than you, or they got better job, better looking partner. And or you can look at them as some nice people that are gathered to have a good time, and the energy you put out, people can feel it even if they don't show it. But if you're calm and kind, people feel that. Some people are clueless, may never feel it, but most people do. Most people feel your nice vibration. So when you enter the party with that kind of attitude that you're here among friends, these are people like you with the same kind of emotions, problems, griefs, and all the issues that we deal as a human being. Um, then you have this sense of connection, a sense of compassion. You let them brag. You don't jump in to stop them because they're overdoing it or they're irritating you. You just walk away peacefully to another group or another person, or just go and do something else instead of staying in a conversation that you're not able to manage it in a peaceful way. So the reason for this short talk was just to explain how we create our own heaven and hell by choices we make in our head. And these choices affect our lives, thought control is the biggest skill that you can ever learn. But more important than your job, more important than any role you play, the role of a father, and role of a mother, role of, I don't know, executive in a company or CEO of a company. These are roles that we all play and you play too. So if you realize that these are the roles that you're playing, then you have a different attitude. Then you feel like you do have power to make a change when you're sitting at home on your couch by yourself, watching TV, feeling basically not good about things. Realize that you can change your feeling by changing your thoughts because thoughts come first and then feelings and emotions will come later. If you dwell on negative thoughts long enough, it's very hard to get out. And so you want to stop going that direction as soon as you realize that you are going towards negativity, and it's going to pull you in, going to pull you in. And so by that understanding, you could start practicing this on small things and just, for example, decide to change, take an inventory of your thoughts and try to change it. See how you're feeling and see if you can change that to a much more positive, productive way. And then by practicing, and one of the things I always recommend is close your eyes, observe your thoughts as they go by like clouds, and just do not attach to any of them. Think of a negative experience, and you can see that immediately other thoughts are coming, and then somebody did you wrong in the past, and then if you give it enough attention, you're going to feel the same emotions you felt 20 years ago when that happened or 2 days ago. But by detaching yourself and, and going this direction towards the positive, then you feel like you can literally feel the difference. It may not come as easy as I'm saying at the beginning, but if you start looking at things differently, the things you're looking at are going to be different because that's the way your experience is. If I look at this flower and I have a lens, my glasses, let's say I have a red lens, I see this as red. So the filter that you put on your mind, that is your comes from your beliefs and from your programming and from experiences. You have this filter that you see people through that filter. if you feel like everybody is out there to get you, or everybody's enemy or not your friend, or that negative outlook, then you're going to experience negative stuff a lot more than if you were thinking the other way. So I'm going to end this right here. Hopefully, I made my point, or at least offered something that you can think about and take control of your life and your thoughts. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on my next video. Control your thoughts, control your happiness. Take care.